Okay guys, thanks for joining us in the cockpit of this Mercedes-Benz here. It's a Diagnostic World video, and I'm here to answer basically a question that we get quite a lot. And it's not so much that people are trying to sort of trick other people or anything like that. It's just, yeah, they basically need a bit more understanding of how diagnostics work. The question that we get quite a lot is, if I buy this diagnostic tool, whether it be from Mercedes, a BMW, Audi, Jaguar or whatever, it doesn't matter. If, say for example, you've got an airbag light, which we have on this vehicle here, can you reset that airbag light or an engine light or an ABS light if you don't actually fix the fault? Well, the answer 99% of the time is going to be no, unfortunately not, and I'll show you for why. The only time you would be able to do that is if, say for example, it was an intermittent fault. So say for example you had a check engine light which gave one faulty reading from an O2 sensor and it knocked on the check engine light, but it never happened again. It was an intermittent sort of freak fault. In that case, yes, you probably will be able to reset it without doing anything, but in most cases you need to actually fix the problem that the diagnostic tool is telling you, and then you'll be able to turn off the warning light. So I'm gonna give you a little example here. This is the MB version 1.0 kit from Mercedes. It's available at Diagnostic World. It's www.diagnostic-world.com. I'll put the link to this kit in the description or the comments box below. So as I say, we've got an airbag light on the dashboard here. We've got pre-safe inoperative, see owner's manual, and then it flashes on to another message which is front right malfunction. So that's obviously the front right is the driver's right, so the driver's side, sorry. So we'll click onto, obviously we've got this tool plugged into the diagnostic port, click onto diagnostics, click into Benz. We're just basically going to select our vehicle here, and we're going to go in and read the fault codes for the airbag. So I'm just selecting my vehicle. Apologies if I'm going quite fast here because I've used this tool a lot and I know my way around it. So these are all the different systems that we can communicate with. We need to find the airbag system. Here it is, SRS Supplemental Restraint System. So we're going to click into read fault code. So it's giving us 1 of 4. Now these are the fault codes. Belt buckle driver has a short circuit, neck pro head restraint, the squib for the pelvis airbag, the squib for the side bag. Now all of these faults, they all go into the same connection underneath the driver's seat. So we can be pretty sure that this fault relates to a connection underneath the driver's seat. Now that's not, I'm not getting it, I'm not trying to tell you where the connections lead to. I'm just basically showing that we do have an airbag fault in this car, and what I'm going to do now is see if we can actually go in and clear fault memory. So this is what a lot of people are expecting they may well be able to do once they've got this tool. So they've got the fault, they don't want to do any work. I'm not saying they don't want to do any work, but they're curious as to whether they can just reset the light without doing anything. So I'm going to click into clear fault memory. Do you wish to erase fault memory? If you delete fault code, stored events will also be deleted. So I'll just click OK to that. Erasing the fault code. Now it's telling us clear trouble code completed. So it's done its job, but I don't know if you saw, maybe rewind the video a little bit, the airbag light went off for a second and it came straight back on. That is basically because the ECU knows that it's the fault has been reset, but it knows that there's still an open circuit in the airbag, so it's put it straight back on. So essentially what we've tried to do is we've tried to trick it, and it has failed. It hasn't worked. The ECU in the vehicle is cleverer than we want it to be, basically. Well, not want it to be, but well, some people want it to be, I guess. So that's just basically, you've got to have an understanding that these warning lights, they're on for a reason. So if there's a fault in that system, it's the car's way of talking to you. It's a car's way of telling you that there is a problem and you need to do something about it. And that's why a lot of cars will fail MOTs, because this airbag light is on. If this car was in an accident, it means the airbag system is deactivated, so the airbags wouldn't activate in this particular situation if we were in an accident. So what we've got to do is we've got to fix that fault, and we've got to basically connect everything back together. And we simulated this fault, in fact, so we just unclipped a connection underneath the driver's seat. But if we were to put that back in, we would be able to just simply click into clear fault memory and we could get rid of the faults, no problem at all. I would do it right now, but it's going to be pretty awkward because I know the connections are quite awkward to get to. If you just give me 1 second, I'll do that actually. See, it's quite awkward to get to. I have to put the seat forward to get access to it underneath. Torch. Oh, right, okay. Right, okay, so we've done that now. We've plugged it back in as it should be. The airbag light and the messages are still there, but now we'll go in again and click clear fault memory. Do you really wish to? Click OK. They've gone off and they've stayed off. Clear trouble code completed. So, just a basic quick introduction on how diagnostics work, and I hope it's answered your question as to whether you can actually reset a warning light, whether it be ABS, airbags, transmission, you name it, engine, without actually fixing the fault. 99% of the time no, 1% of the time yes. If you do need a diagnostic tool, this is the Mercedes equivalent, but we do them for every single vehicle on the road. You can pick one up at Diagnostic World. It's www.diagnostic-world.com, or you can just click the link directly below this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope it helps.